Let's review some of the basic cutting techniques for vegetables and meats, and follow how to marinate the meat as well. Could you describe some of the different ways to cut vegetables and why it's so important to cut them in particular size and shape?
The most popular cuts are slice, dice, strip, domino, and roll cuts. A particular size and cut is very important in Chinese cooking. This will facilitate the time such that the vegetable can be cooked at the same time or as close as possible.
How about cutting meat such as pork, beef, and chicken?
On any boneless meat, such as chicken, beef, and pork, are normally cut into slices, strips, cube, and triangular shape depends on the requirement of the recipe. But the most important thing to remember at the final cut of meat should be across the grain. This will facilitate a more tenderness on the piece of meat. We will provide you with more detail on video and training guides.
Is marinating the cut meat important in Chinese cooking?
Yes, marinating cut meat is very important. This will help the flavor as well as tenderize the meat. The marinating time in general is 25 to 30 minutes in the refrigerator.
In Chinese cooking, there lays a list of basic tastes ranging from the spectrum of 5 identified tastes. They are sweet, sour, bitter, hot, and salty tastes. Can you give us some more details on each of these areas?
Sure, I would be glad to do so. The basic tastes we're trying to accomplish when cooking Chinese food are sweet. Some of the products contribute to the sweet taste are white sugar, brown slab sugar, rock sugar, monk sugar, sweet soy sauce, molasses, hoisin sauce, and honey. Sour, on the opposite end of sweet, will be a sour taste. Some of the ingredients contribute to the sour taste are rice vinegar, black vinegar, red vinegar, juice of lime, and lemon. Bitter. The bitter taste is accomplished by adding ingredients that will make the dish have a more pungent or sharp taste. The bitter taste is created through a use of all zest of the fruit, such as lime, lemon, orange, and tangerine, and any bittersweet solution. Hot. The hot taste is a taste of leaving your mouth burning after eating. In Chinese cooking, the hot taste can range from milder version that simply make the food spicier and much more hotter version that can literally make you cry. Some of the seasoning with hot taste are white pepper powder, chili pepper, chili oil, hot bean sauce, and chili sauce. Salty. Some of the products contribute to the salty taste are salt, which is sodium chloride, dark soy sauce, light soy sauce, all salted vegetables such as turnip, cabbage, Sichuan pickle, and mustard green, oyster flavor sauce, and fermented black beans.
We know that Chinese cooking methods can be similarly broken down into smaller, easily rememberable parts. These methods will usually stress the very use of little oil, a high flame technique, and also a fast cooking method to create healthy, tasty food with a high amount of retained vitamins. This is why Chinese food is considered to be the most healthiest food on the planet. The Chinese cooking method is broken down into several parts: stir fry, steam, simmering, deep fry, shallow cooking, and dry cooking. Can you explain more about this?
Here are the methods of Chinese cooking. Stir fry is the most common method used in Chinese cooking. Using the wok, a little bit of oil, ingredients are cooked in a high flame setting while being constantly stirred. Stir fry cooking is usually done without a cover. Steaming is the second most popular cooking process. Basically, the steam from the boiling water is used to heat and cook the food. The steam method uses a large pot with water boiling on the bottom. A bowl or plate is then held over the boiling water with a stand. A cover is used to encapsulate the steam. Simmering is a relatively simple process that involves the use of any liquid substance that can be brought to boil. The liquid which can be water, broth, or water, is brought to a rapid boil using a high flame. Then the flame is lower just enough so that the liquid continues to bubble a little bit. Deep frying is the process of using a large amount of oil to cook an ingredient. The oil is brought to a temperature of 325 to 350 degrees, and the ingredient is dipped into the oil and allow it to cook. Shallow frying is used 1/4 to 1/2 cup of oil brought to a deep frying temperature. The ingredient to be cooked will then be placed in the pan. It is usually required to turn the ingredients over on each side in order to ensure a proper and even cook. Part cooking stands for partially cooked. It's basically use any above mentioned process to partially cook food. After being partially cooked, the food will usually be returned to a wok for final cooking process. We will go over most of the important techniques in our training video and guide. As we progress further, we will spend more time on this method of cooking in a greater detail.